exercise selection for at-home training, resistance training equipment exercises, so weight machines, and we'll talk about what you can do at home and then what you can do if you go to the gym. Okay, we'll start at home because that seems to be where most people will start to exercise before they go to a gym. But if you go to a gym, you get a little bit more bang for your buck. The resistance machines are ready to go and you don't have to do any setup, and it usually is an easier and simpler way to exercise if you can't take a lot of direction. So if you'd rather just go to a gym, use the resistance machines, that's going to be a little bit better than using free weights. But if you use free weights at home, that's what we're going to talk about first. So let's go ahead and talk about free weights. We'll go FR. So FR. So we have free weights. So free weight exercises are going to include things like body weight exercises, exercises you can use, use dumbbells or kettlebells or maybe resistance bands. So we'll talk about the exercises you can perform with free weights, and we'll also talk about the exercises you can perform with resistance machines. So RM, resistance machines, okay? So we'll talk about what you can do for both, and we'll give you two different strategies depending on what you're going to be doing. Free weights. All right, so if you're at home, you typically maybe work out 3 days a week. So we have a Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. Some people will do Saturday, Sunday, Wednesday if you work during the week. So this could be a Sunday, this could be Saturday, and the in between would be the Wednesday. So if you're working out 3 days a week, free weights, this is going to be body weight exercises. This is going to be banded exercises, medicine ball exercises, dumbbell exercises, and kettlebell exercises. You may even have a barbell, and you may have a bench. Okay, so most people will probably stop at that for their house. They'll have bands, med balls, dumbbells, kettlebells, barbells, a bench, and most of their exercise will be body weight. Okay, so on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday routine, or a 3-day split, you're gonna want to make sure you're hitting every muscle, or both the upper and lower each day. Okay, you could do a full body on Wednesday, and you could do, say, upper on Wednesday and lower on Friday, or if you're doing the Saturday Sunday routine, you could do Sunday upper, Friday full body, and then the next Saturday would be lower body Saturday, upper body Sunday, and then your middle day or Wednesday would be full body. That's a Lyle McDonald split. So whether you're doing full body every day or you have upper body, lower body, lower body, whatever it is, I'm going to go through the full body versions for each day, what I would recommend for each day. And then we'll talk about what I would do if you had that Saturday, Sunday, upper body, lower body, full body split. So if I was just doing full body, this would be my full body here, going all the way down. On Monday, I'm going to want to make sure I'm doing both upper and lower body. So it doesn't matter really what I choose, whether it's lower body or upper body. If I want to make it so that I'm focusing on squats instead of pushing, or if I'm thinking about, I want to get a really good pull day, or maybe you're alternating what you start. So maybe you start with upper body on Monday, and then on Wednesday you do lower body to start, and then Friday you go back to upper body. So whatever you prefer. It really doesn't matter what days or what body part you start with, unless you're like an athlete and you have certain protocols. But basically, you can start with upper or lower. Let's just say we'll start with upper. So this could be a dumbbell bench press fly, okay? A dumbbell bench fly, so a chest fly, and followed by maybe some dips on the bench. Okay, so 2 upper body exercises, and then a little bit of triceps and chest there. Now you could go to a dumbbell deadlift, okay, getting the hamstrings, and then you could go for a lateral raise for shoulders, okay. Then you could go with a split squat, all right, getting the front of the legs a little bit, and then you can go with another upper body exercise, which could be some type of row. So whether it's a seated row or maybe a pull down, and then that would be your main exercises for Monday. And then after that, you could include arms or any accessory exercises on that day. Wednesday, you start upper body with dumbbell fly and the dips. So maybe you start with lower body on Wednesday. And since we started with the deadlift, maybe we'll start with something squat dominant. So maybe it's just a bilateral squat. Okay, maybe a goblet squat or a front squat, or just dumbbells at your side squatting all the way down and up. Okay, so now we'll go up back to upper body. So now we're going up some type of pull down. Okay, so whether it's a banded pull down, pull up, any type of resistance where you can get an overhead pulling motion. Okay, now we're going to add in some type of core exercise, okay, in the middle here, whether that's sit-ups or back extensions on the ground or trunk lifts on the ground or Supermans, whatever you want to call them. You can also call them opposite raises or Pilates swimmers for your low back. Some type of back extension or sit-up. We can do a combination of both. Now we're going to go into a single leg deadlift, okay, and then we're going to go into some type of bench press or dumbbell press or push-up, okay, whatever you have available. Okay, now we're going back to the squat, or the quad area. So we're going to think lunges, and after that we could probably do a reverse fly for the rear deltoid. And then if you have any extra time, just do some arms. On Friday, we did upper body, lower body. So we're doing an upper body week, and then the next week we could do a lower body week. So if we start with the bench, so maybe we're gonna start, instead of the pull down, since we started, that was our second one here, we'll go with a seated row, or a one arm banded row if you have that, or a dumbbell row, dumbbell seated row, or dumbbell row, one arm row, or a pull up or a pull down, so any back exercise that you want to do. And then after that, we're going to, since we did squats, so it's probably going to be some type of deadlift or hamstring. So hip lift. These can be bench supported hip lifts or foot raised hip lifts. So for the glutes and hamstrings. Now we're going to do some type of upper body pressing exercise. So this is where we could do either a push-up, or we could do dumbbell chest fly, dips, any type of pressing exercise for the chest. If you have a bench incline press, be a good idea here. Now we're going back to lower body, or we could sprinkle in core if we want. So if we're doing lower body, we've already gotten our hip lift, so now we're going to go make probably a lateral squat, since we haven't hit the lateral plane. So we got the lateral squat in there. So now we got 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to go back to a pull exercise, or you could do a shoulder exercise. So let's do a shoulder press. You either do a one arm shoulder press or a two arm shoulder press. And then we'll go back to lower body. We've done hip lifts, so hamstrings would be the next one. So we could do, let's see, some type of hamstring exercise. So you could do a leg curl. If you have sliders, or your heels can slide on the ground, or if you have a physio ball or exercise ball, which I would definitely include in your exercise ball, because that would be at-home equipment. You could do a physio leg curl, okay? Or you could do a bilateral deadlift, okay, either or. Then any other time you have after that, arms. So bicep curls, tricep extensions, you all know the drill. Now, if you're at the gym, okay, or sorry, if this is this is the full body routine. Okay, now if I were to do upper body, full body, lower body, this is what I would do. Okay, so if I have upper body here, I might start with lateral raises. Okay, then I would go to a seated row or one arm row. Okay, and then I'm going to go to, since it's upper body, we're going to go push up or dumbbell press. Okay, and then I'm going to go right into dips after that. And then we're going to go with a pull down. And then any type of arms after that. Okay, Friday or full body day, I would do some type of deadlift or single leg deadlift with a dumbbell. Then I would go into a push up or a fly, dumbbell fly, and then I would go to a split squat or a rear foot elevated split squat with a row, and then I would go into a single leg deadlift or a single leg hip lift or deadlift in with a dips or shoulder press. And then after that I would do arms or any type of leg exercises that you want to do, calf raises, forearm curls, something that you haven't gotten on your upper day. So then, now if we're just doing lower body, first thing I would do would be probably like a bilateral squat or a split squat. And then I would go into a some type of hamstring, so leg curl with a physio ball. Okay. Then I would go to a side clamshell, so getting the side glutes. Then I would go into a lunge, and then after that I would go to single leg deadlift or a bilateral deadlift. Okay, and then after that any type of calves, and anything I'm missing here, maybe some type of adductor movement, maybe it's a lateral squat or a Copenhagen plank. Okay, so that's what I would do for upper, full body, lower. This is what I would do for full body, full body, full body if I was at an at-home program. Now, as far as resistance machines, if I have resistance machines, now everything's going to change. So I'm going to have the same setup here. I'm going to have two scenarios. All right, I'm going to have the first scenario is going to be a full body split. This is going to be a upper body, full body, lower body split. So this is going to be all full body, full body, full body, resistance machine. So this means I'm at the gym. So you have all your resistance-based machine exercise equipment that you can use now. So if I'm doing a full body routine, again, it really doesn't matter what you start with, honestly, unless you have a preference of what you're trying to build, then obviously you want to start with that. If you don't have a preference, it doesn't matter. If you're trying to build your arms, you might want to start or at least end with arms. If you're trying to build your chest, you're going to want to start or end with chest or both. Same thing with your legs. So we're doing full body. Let's just say we're doing legs first, resistance-based machines. I might start with leg extensions. Okay, on a leg extension machine, seated leg extensions, and then I might go to leg curls just to get kind of the lower body first, and then I might go to a dumbbell chest fly, and then a barbell bench press, or you could also do pec fly machine, All right, and then I'll do something back lower body. So it could be maybe like a core slash lower body. So like the Roman chair, the back extension, gets a little bit of glute in there. Okay, and then I might do an ab rope curl since I'm getting core, it looks like. I might as well add in both. And ab rope curl, it's a great one using resistance machines. And so then after that, I could probably do some arms if I wanted to. Whether that's machine arms, cable arms, tricep push down, or cable curls, or preacher curl, that type of thing, if I have time. Now, I'm usually just thinking about 6 main exercises. You want to think practical. Anything over that is just extra. So now we have full body for the next day. This day, since we started with lower body, we'll go to upper body. So if we had leg extensions to start, might do something since we did chest. Probably go to back since we didn't really get any that day. So this is where we would get our pull down to start. Okay, and then a lateral raise. Okay, I may even sprinkle in some calf raises in here as a superset, just to get the calves going. So pull down calves, lateral raise, and I might even superset that with an upright row. Okay, just getting upper, a little bit of lower, and then a superset upper. Then after I've kind of wiped the upper body out a little bit, I'm going to go to lower body. So this is where I'm going to do either a split squat, a single leg deadlift, or any type of leg press. And so squat press, leg press, that type of thing. Then I'm going to go to another lower body, so maybe the adductor machine or abductor. I like to hit once every 2 weeks so you can switch, or do a superset of both adductor and abductor seated machine. Okay, and now we're going to go back to upper body. Done some pull downs, so probably going to do either an overhead press, or you can do an incline press, whatever you prefer. All right, we're going to go back to pull, so we'll go seated, 1 arm row, or the cable, or you can do a dumbbell 1 arm row. If you have any extra time, you can do some legs or some arms, whatever you prefer. You could do some more leg extensions if you wanted to at the end, if you felt like they were recovered enough, or you could wait until this next day. So now we started lower body here, upper body, now we're going to do lower body again. So we did leg extensions, okay? To start on that day, so we might start with prone leg curls. Okay, so that's on your stomach and your hamstrings. And then after that, we might do some type of lunge, okay, just to get those legs going. And then we're going to go to upper body. We've done some incline here, so we're going to go dumbbell bench press, okay, and then we'll do a lat pull down. And then we'll do a deadlift or a single leg deadlift with support, holding onto the wall with 1 dumbbell, or you can do a 2 arm overhand grip barbell single leg deadlift. And then we can go into purposeful arms, for then really making sure that we're including arms, whether it's preacher curls, cable curls, or overhead tricep with a dumbbell, or tricep push down with both. You can also add in a lat pullover, lat dumbbell pullover. Make sure that one's in there. It's going to get the back and arms and chest a little bit. So this would be your full body on day 3. Now, as far as at the gym, upper body, full body, lower body, this is what I would do. All right, so for the upper body, I'm at the gym, I have resistance machines. I might start with a reverse fly, just to get the shoulders warmed up, okay? And then I might do a pec fly right after that. And then after that, I'm gonna go seated row, okay? and then I'll do a dumbbell press. Woo! So we got dumbbell press here, chest press of course, and then we'll go, since there's upper body here, do intentional arms, so preacher curl arms, and then we'll do an overhead tricep. Alright, still upper body. Now we're going to go for lateral raise, lateral dumbbell raise, and we'll go into a lat pull down. And that's what we'll do on that upper body. And if we have any other time, we'll do arms or dips, or you could do an overhead press if you have time. All right, now for full body resistance machine at the gym, you can just choose one of these full bodies, so I don't have to do that over again. And for lower body, well, maybe we'll go back to full body. But for lower body, let's just focus on what we would do. So we would do leg extensions, of course, and leg curls. Now you could do whatever you prefer, whether that's prone or seated, okay? So whatever you don't do here, so you definitely want to have leg extensions here and laterals in this one as well on your full body day. You're definitely going to want to have a dumbbell or barbell or seated machine bench press. Okay, you're going to want to do a lat pull down here, seated row. Okay, and then you can do, let's see, hamstring curls, we've got that. So leg press would be good, and some calf raises would be fine. And then if you wanted to sprinkle in some arms at the end, you'd be pretty good here. All right, so you got your shoulders, chest, back. Now for that lower body day, you got leg extensions or leg curls, whatever you didn't get on this other day. So if it's seated, go prone, switch it up. Then for your lowers, you're gonna do the adductor, abductor machines. Your legs are gonna be pretty toast. Then you're gonna go leg press or back squat with medium weight, so not going all out. And then you're gonna go into single leg deadlift or hip lift. And then after that, you're pretty toast. But if you could handle split squats, lunges, or lateral squat, be my guess, but you might be toast after that. And then as far as legs go on that last day, you don't want to overdo it. So that's what I would do if I had a resistance machine. I was at the gym, I'd go on this side of the board. And if I was doing free weights at my house, I would be on this side of the board. This is my upper or full body day on this left side, and then it's an upper, full body, lower as seen. So let me know if you have any questions.